Welcome, I'm Wanda Henry, and we're going to show you how to have fun with a budget decorating. Sometimes it's so easy to be stressed and worry about what you cannot do, and we're going to show you what you can do.
Previously on Bridal Your Way.
We're stuck with the same $15. However, you have something you cannot do.
No flowers.
No runners or free items.
No fruits. No glass.
Can't use runners or free items.
Yeah.
It's like, all right,
Just tucking them in the back.
we'll talk about it later.
Much harder than I expected.
Yeah.
You guys did a good job. Now they have food on the table. So you can add other things, but they have to be a minor addition to the food that you are drawing. What food do you get?
Cake. Okay.
Fruit.
Breads.
There are some cheeses and some berries that can go with any of them. You know what I'm saying? But you're all going to have to share those. And you can, like I said, you can use these other things, but your food has to be central. So there's some cheese. Ready? Go.
Okay, he's free, so I prefer cheese.
Okay. The reason for this is, let's say she's really trying to save money, so she's going to put some of the food that they're going to eat on the table.
Yes. I like how it's this.
Okay. That's what we're doing. So let's cut some bread.
The shot you've been waiting for.
Yeah.
So always just do, honestly, some buds or like,
And kind of, I don't break them off little.
yeah.
The lemons are giant too.
Yeah, it's all pretty.
Well, just grab it.
But it's a good mix. The balance is a little off, but it works.
Yeah, a couple, like maybe on this side.
Well, it's not the right color.
We're like going all out with the cake now. So
All right, might as well. I feel like this is going to be great, but
Oh yeah.
or is that, or should we just keep it? Yeah.
I love it. This is really fun because they are so different. Okay, so stand by your tables. We're going to talk about that.
Sorry, there's a hole. Well, we had bread, and that was really exciting. So we did bread and cheese and fruit, like charcuterie style, with greens. Very natural, very just makes you want to grab it and eat it.
Super organic. So one thing about food, when food's at the center of the table, it'll draw people to the table more than if it's just a sterile flower or something like that. So the people sitting here are going to be sharing a meal, and that just is really good. Now, for some people, that's a little uncomfortable. So if that's your guest group, then I don't think I would do this, but I think it's great. So let's say you're going to have photos between the ceremony and the reception, and you need some filler time. This would be a great table for your guests to sit down and enjoy each other and eat their food. So you guys did a great job. This is really pretty.
We had the cake table, and I have a newfound respect for florists to decorate the cake because this, I had a picture in my mind, but then you go to do it and it's very difficult.
Yeah.
So we went with the cascading flower and then the beautiful flower on top as well. And some greenery to kind of, tie it all together. And placemats, and I thought were really a nice touch as well.
Yeah, good job. Okay, one thing about cakes in the center, this is probably a little large, but it was the one I could find that was white and not decorated with children's colors. So usually you want a smaller cake than that on the table, like the 6-inch, and then the table, this is their cake for dessert. And it seems to be something really popular right now, and it works really well if you have a lot of good friends that each one could bring a cake, and that saves you the money of having to buy a cake. So that would be a budget item there.
We had fruit, so we went with kind of just a summery vibe, citrus and rice or some pop.
Yeah, so good. Yeah. Now this food table, you're not going to just pick the lemon up and eat it. So this is more for decor, and it would just be decor. But can you imagine a whole room of this. I think that would just be really stunning. If yellow is one of your colors, that could be really lovely. So good job. I am so thankful you guys came and helped do this. It was a lot of fun. And I want you guys to each say what one or two things of the items that you use throughout the day did you appreciate the most and get the most value out of using. So, do you want to start, KK?
Sure. My favorite thing to add was just the plain greenery. It adds a lot of like movement and texture to the table because it's not just laying flat. Very easy way to add a pop to just about anything.
I think my favorites were the baby's breath. It just adds a lot of volume to whatever you're trying to do. And honestly, the little paper placemats, like those were fun to work with when it's laid out on the table when you need something to, cover the whiteness of the tablecloth. It's very nice texture.
My favorite thing was the bread because it's so simple, but it has so much texture and it's practical. That's my biggest thing with tablescape is as long as I can see the people around them at the table and they have a good time. And the food, everyone loves that. So that's personally my favorite is working with the food.
So for me, I'm kind of with Kaylee. I am an avid gardener, and so I naturally just navigate towards all of the greens on the table. I like a really organic feel, and it's really well balanced when you mix a lot of woods and food. And the other thing is with the food, I also just really like to be interactive, and that engagement with the table, like you said earlier, is really important. So
I really like the baby's breath too, just for the versatility of it. Like it can kind of go with anything. And then the linen, you can just do a lot with it and shape it different ways and it fills the table really well. I'm gonna agree with you. Those were definitely one of my favorites. It's just a big pop of color and you can squish back into a small space. And then also the wooden cutting board kind of things. I just love the look of wood.
So one more question is, what advice or tips would you leave after doing this to someone who has a really, really tight budget for their decor?
make the most use out of the simpler things that you pull for your decorations. I think that goes a long way. You can use fruits, baby's breath, a lot of things that are really inexpensive for fillers that can really add a lot to the table. It's also really easy to get fixated on one item that's more costly. And I think if you start there, it's almost more challenging. So pick a feel, whether it's the woods, what's important to you. And, it could be that you're decorating with food. It could be that you're mostly centering on florals, but get that set and then fill with the other easier items that you have, because that makes it easier.
Yeah. Another thing to me is ask your close friends and your family for items. In the past, I have a lot of wedding items, and when people ask me to borrow my stuff, it's also, I don't know, it's just you're making yourself a part of someone else's journey, and that's just really special. So, and it's also free.
I think one of the best things that you can do is take inventory of what you have and what your community has. And if you have something that, like, you have a ton of this one thing, use that as your centerpiece because it's free, and then work from that of like, oh, I have a bunch of jars or a bunch of vases. What can I do with that? Or I have a bunch of platters, and go from there.
And I would say just don't stress out about it too much.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, just have fun.
Yeah.
And if decorating is not up your alley, just find someone to pass it off to and say, hey, can you help me with this? And if they love it, they will love helping.
The creative person will find you.
Yes.
If you're looking.
That's true.
And you put it out there.
Yeah. Good. Well, I hope you've learned a lot. I think one of the most important things is to learn that with a limit, you actually can be more creative. I think sometimes we think we have to have access to everything to be creative, but instead, actually the limits put us in. And I think that section where they had to be limited really showed that they had to think. They had to really think hard. But they also came up with some really great ideas. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Wanda.
Yes, thank you.